Hi, Leo, and welcome to your reading for the 25th of May 2025. The energy around you at the moment is the Knight of Wands, which is the card of friendships. It can mean contact or someone coming back in from the past. Sometimes this means past life, so you may have a new friend coming in, but you feel that instant connection and your friends for life. But this is also about opportunities coming in from the past. So sometimes this is more to do with you may have applied for a job and you haven't heard, and it's been ages, and then you suddenly hear out of the blue. Of course, that's not for everyone, but some of you. Or you may have ideas about an opportunity that you have been thinking about for a long time that may be more self created. But in any case, it's things coming in from the past that are positive opportunities. And but the big one is friendship. So let's explore that a little bit more. Yes, this again is opportunities. It's thinking about opportunities and your success, your long term success around possibly communication and what you truly want. Judgment is being tested on what you will and won't accept in your life. And here it's talking about you being tested around your work and finances. Um, or possibly it can mean that you're taking on something more and you'll be juggling two things. Some of you may be a little bit bored with your work and it may be too average for you. It's almost like you're not stepping into your own knowledge and your expertise. But it could be a habit, you're just used to doing it. So it's about overcoming that block and possibly looking towards this other opportunity as well, which will give you more freedom. The devil's actually their card of Capricorn. And Capricorns often are very hard workers, and you may be working very hard, but it's not the positive side of Capricorn. The negative is addiction, could be a workaholic, but it's also about freedom. When the Christians invaded, when the Romans invaded Britain, they took Christianity and they were pagans and they worshipped the horn god and the triple-faced goddess. And the horn god is represented by a man wearing antlers running through the forest, wild and free. And that is more of the energy that you are being asked to step into. It takes courage, but Leos don't lack courage. So it's just possibly even thinking about these things, starting to plant the seeds, and things could come in quite quickly. If you have issues around home, the Four of Cups is an opportunity that affects your home, but it's also divine intervention. So something could come out of the blue. And the Knight of Swords is also about sudden things occurring or sudden opportunities coming in. So that could be interesting. In any case, there's great victory over these decisions to do with listening to your true self and what you truly want. And the Ten of Swords is final, final things leaving, but also it's fear. So, of course, we always have fear when we do new things. So, um, it's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. They're saying you can do two things. You would be juggling, and the Two of Wands is the card of the world is your oyster. What do you want to create? And this is the next step on your path. It's about putting yourself first, making yourself happy. It can be around travel, and the travel's coming up here as well, short trips away. So it's to do with meeting people. You may be going away with people or to see people or planning that, because this is the line of thought. It's your wishes and hopes and dreams, but also it's what you're attracting with the way that you're thinking. And you're actually thinking in a very positive way. You're thinking about your own success. new beginnings, what you want to manifest, who is joyful in your life, and this travel, but also leaving turmoil for peace. I don't really see a lot of turmoil here, but it's really more around what you want to do with your work. The Five of Pentacles, sometimes, traditionally it's seen as a negative card, but really it's about one door shutting and another door opening. And believe it or not, it ties in with this holiday theme, because often when I'm reading for people who are here on holidays, when I'm reading one-on-one, that card comes up, and it's just that they're not working because they're on holidays. So there does seem to be a lot more people here in your life or in the near future. Very social time and more social invitations. You can choose whether you want to go or not. This is about you deciding that, and if you feel like staying home, don't feel obliged to go. In the line of karma, things are moving ahead in a very positive upward spiral. So you are choosing which way to go in your life. And this is based on the past. Where have you been happy? Where haven't you been happy? And it's making those decisions. They're also talking about the effects of thought on health. There's a field of science called epigenetics, and it's the study of external environmental factors which affect our health. Our thoughts and especially, negative thoughts affect our hormones, they affect our health. And so it's negating or eliminating the worry in your life. And of course, finding any way to do that. You might meditate, you might do other forms of releasing these, because this is the subconscious as well, releasing old subconscious patterns and programs, not through, it's through things like meditation or walking in nature, being around animals. This is talking about animals. There is evidence that our brain waves entrain to those of dolphins and whales, for example. But I think also with our domestic animals, we if a cat's purring, they've done studies on the effects on calming people down, and dogs, of course. So you need it. It's like this need for you to connect with nature, but not worry. Basically, find ways to not worry. They're talking about intelligence and having a very very good analytical mind, but you may not be being recognized in your work as much, or be going as far as you could to do with your work. So, but you are very well loved. People really like you, and some of this could be a big opportunity that your spirit guides are guiding you towards as well, to do with your career. It is time to listen to your heart, your subconscious, clear any old subconscious pain, things like EMDR, rapid eye technology are great at clearing these things, and they clear them pretty well instantly. So, just a few visits and you're done. Of course, other things come up, but you can clear them as they come up too. But you may have other methods of doing that. So let's put some more cards down and see what else is coming up. Meditation, that's funny. Meditation and attracting abundance, long-term abundance. It could also indicate that you've already done that you feel quite safe in your, you may have bought a house, or there's success here. It's not, the fours are homes. So if you're saving for a house, that possibility is absolutely here. but it could take a little bit of time because this is things on pause, but it is success. Now, pointing out here how much fear sabotages us. If we didn't do anything we were afraid of, then we would never do anything probably. So it is about listening to yourself and your own, not having any negative self-talk, being confident, but connecting more with the higher self rather than the ego. Strength is the card for Leo, and it's the higher self taming the lower self or the ego. And of course, the tarot talks about negative ego, so low self-esteem, low self-confidence in starting something new, or it could be that you have something from the past that you're still carrying and you're worried that that will happen again. You can clear all of that. You have people coming in who are members of your soul group to help you as well. You're capable of very hard work, and there are rewards to be gained through this hard work. Things move ahead very quickly. You may be reassuring friends, giving advice. People come to you for advice, and you may be helping someone through a difficult time too, a time of, they may be going through something to do with endings. This is very stable personal relationships and family relationships. If someone is leaning on you too heavily and they're not taking responsibility for themselves, you may need to just step back a little bit. The Five of Swords is about people always blaming the world, being victims, saying, oh, it wasn't my fault, everything always happens to me, I'm always having bad luck. They're creating their luck themselves, but if they don't listen and they don't take advice, then and they could be coming to you for advice, then it's probably time to either step back or sever the relationship. You may be helping them though. You may help them onto a path of hope and positivity. And so they're saying you'll probably just observe and not react, but it's sort of hard being around that kind of energy. So look at how long you want to be around that for. And this also goes for people who are combative or who are giving you mixed messages. You are Leo, but you do often, lots of Leos have Cancerian planets because they're next to Cancer. And this is about finding that passion to do with your more emotional self or your creative self. Again, they're talking about the path with the heart, the path to do with your career, to do with the heart. A lot of you are very good communicators, and this is to do with groups of people and visualizing something, bringing it in, connecting to source energy. You have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands together, which is that path of the heart. If you just step onto it, you'll find your way. If you move towards the things that feel right. I often tell people who are having doubts or are not sure about which way to go to listen to their body. So to take yourself somewhere quiet, find that space between thoughts, that feeling of peace, and then ask yourself, if I make this decision, will I be happy? And if you feel, oh, I would love that, that just feels wonderful, then that's the right decision. If you have, that funny feeling in your tummy, or you're not, oh, I don't know, then it's not the right time or not the right decision. And really, that's the way I make all my decisions these days. I don't have readings anymore. I used to, but now I just listen to myself. Yes, you can think about things logically as well, but it's a combination of analyzing and listening to your heart. And just choose one thing to start with. You've probably got, when you start to think about it, many ideas. And I think I told someone else this. A way to organize this is, I think I told someone else this in these readings, but the way to organize this is to get a big piece of paper, roll it into 3 columns. In the first column, you write down all the things you would love to do, even if you think they're not a job, or even if you think it's not possible. And it doesn't matter if they contradict each other or whatever, just let yourself write whatever you want. Then in the second column, you let yourself be really negative and you write down all the reasons why you don't think that you can have those things. Might be finance, it might be time, whatever. And then in the third column, you look at those negatives and you write down the reason, you work out strategies around the negatives so that you can achieve some of these goals or one of these goals. And then you're on your way. So you may be walking away from some things and walking towards, yes, it feels like the unknown, but it's extremely positive. And this is over time. This is the emotional lesson, patience or temperance, not going out on a limb until it's the right time. And yes, I still think it's time to start things or start planning things or thinking about how you're going to create them. But it could take up to 2 years to see the actual product of your creation or to feel really where you want to be. But start now. I mean, it may not take 2 years. This is 3 days. That's 2 years. That's 9 months. So I don't know. It could be 3 days. But the temperance is an interesting card because it's the card of Sagittarius. Sagittarians, when they're young, are very impulsive, just do whatever they want, take risks, but they don't really listen to themselves. And as they get older and wiser, hopefully, they do listen to themselves more, and then it's about timing. And this is about love, self-love. This is a loving partner who is on your line or in your line of karma, so someone that is definitely going to be in your life or is in your life. Love of home, love of animals probably, and always needing to have that stability, that beautiful home or love in the home. And of course you can live on your own and have love. Love just is. And so it's an energy. So you can connect to love. I've got, on my house, I've got focused life force energy, FLFE, which raises the vibration of your house and property. And I've had it on here for about 4 years. And everyone who comes here says, oh, it's so peaceful here. It's so lovely. And really, it was like that before. I've got a lot of crystals and things too, and I meditate a lot. But the FLFE really boosted it. So maybe check that out if you're wanting to raise the vibration of your house. So this is talking about your star family. You're a star seed, so you're here to help people and help the earth. And there are new beginnings around that to do with your work. Often it's to do with healing, teaching, advising, leading. There could be an international flavour to it. Sometimes this is about America, an opportunity to do with North America, sometimes South America too, actually, and or less often France. But they are talking here about you connecting with your starseed family, just ask for them to come forward in meditation if that's your bent, if you're on a spiritual path. But this is possibly new beginnings, and it could be around large organizations. I'm seeing a lot of people who work within larger organizations, but they're starseeds, and they're here to make change to do with the corporate structures. And we have had Pluto moving from Capricorn into Aquarius. Capricorn is hierarchical, power at the top, filters down. Aquarius is much more community based. So there is almost a revolutionary air about this time astrologically, and you may be instrumental in that. But America, some of you will be traveling to America or have strong contacts with people in America. You work for a long time, but this isn't, you might work for the whole of your life, but it's not, it's something you're joyful about, something that you love. You may even expand as you get older on your career. So, but doing more of what you want to do, you may even take up a new profession as you get older, which is interesting. Let's because the star seeds have come up. I mean, nearly every reading I do, star seeds are coming up at the moment. Or let's have a look at what your message from these star seed cards is. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Well, that really fit with what I was talking about before, didn't it, with temperance, and the timing of things. So, yeah, not thinking that it's too late. And really that fits also with your career and your work, and if you want to expand and you want to do other things, travel, you can. So it was talking here also about the world is your oyster. What do you love? What do you want to bring in? So we'll look for some information about manifestation here. I am a vibrational transmitter and receiver. So true. So if you're in a very positive, high vibration, you attract more of the positive. And you can play around with that. If you're skeptical, just try and create more positive thoughts and see what happens. So this says, in every moment, you are broadcasting a very specific vibrational signal that is instantly being understood and answered. And immediately your present and future circumstances begin changing in response to the signal you are projecting. The entire universe right now is being affected by what you are offering. And it's true, we're all connected. Everything is connected. And quantum physics proves that. So start playing with it. I mean, when I first heard about quantum physics, I was just so excited. That was in the 80s. And yeah, it was like a revelation to me. So these are cards that are more about the earth. So let's have a look at them. You do have this great love of nature and great love of the earth. Even if you're denying that within yourself at the moment, it's necessary to ground yourself, to get out in nature. And strength, constancy, unmoving, remain confident in yourself and your path. This fits more here to do with you being confident in yourself, but also you're being an example to others of how to do that. You may not be aware of that, but it's something that you emit to other people, and they may emulate you. So there's some very interesting stuff here. There could be travel. There could be this new beginning to do with your work. Finances look stable. Housing looks stable. Lovely. Okay, Leo. Well, I will see you next week. God bless.